What's going on, guys? It's Ninja Chortle, and I'm finally back talking about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I know it's been a very long time since I've made any Marvel Infinite videos, and I'm sorry for anyone that was looking for it, but this is not a new update. This is not new news. It's not fake news. It's old news, I guess, but it is stuff that I've been wanting to actually make a video on for quite some time. I just haven't had the free time to work on it, and really, like I said, there hasn't been any new developments for Marvel Infinite, so there just hasn't been a rush to get this thing out. But in the very least, we're gonna talk about Marvel Infinite today. I'm still very much excited for this game and what the possibilities of what it could be. Now, what I'm going to do today is talk about move sets and what could possibly be transferred to new characters or even existing characters within the game from prior move sets that were already in Marvel 3. So what I mean by that exactly is let's first take a look at an old video a few months ago that Maximilian put up on his YouTube channel. I'm going to roll it here, and you can see in this video that Captain Marvel and Phoenix have a very similar moveset. They're not exactly the same. No, I'm not saying that, but there's a lot of things that were borrowed from Phoenix and put into Captain Marvel's moveset, especially with her hyper combo, the blast that she does at the end. All of that's very similar, and the setups are very strikingly similar. Now, even with other characters like Ryu and with Captain America, their movesets have been borrowed from the previous Marvel 3 game and adapted over into Marvel Infinite with some small tweaks, some minor changes here and there, some new updates. Iron Man has a new tool, a new kit, but there's still a lot of the things are very similar from the previous game. So, going back to Captain Marvel, Phoenix most likely is not going to be in Marvel Infinite, so that's why they went ahead and took her moveset and put it into Captain Marvel. So I'm thinking, what if they did that with other characters? That's most likely going to happen, or is happening with Marvel Infinite, that they're taking movesets that they don't want, of characters that they don't want to have in Infinite, but we'll put them into a new character, or maybe even work them into an existing character's tool set. So we're going to talk about some of those possibilities, at least the ones that I see as reasonable for Marvel Infinite. Okay, to start off, we're going to talk about Felicia. Now, this kind of is contradictory to some of the videos that I've already made, but with this game, there's just so much out there. Obviously, I can't be concrete on anything because none of this is leaked information or whatever, but let's get into it. I think Felicia's moveset, if she's not actually going to be in Infinite, could be adapted to be a Squirrel Girl moveset. Not 100% completely, but taking the elements and some of the essence of what she does as a character and putting it into Squirrel Girl. She's fast, she jumps around, there's scratching and clawing and things like that. You can adapt the small squirrel that you can summon, the small cat that you can summon and make it into a squirrel for Squirrel Girl, and do so many things that are very similar between the two characters. Now, I don't think both characters are going to make the game. I think it's going to be one or the other. I lean towards Felicia because she's already existing, but I would prefer Squirrel Girl. But that's just my personal bias, and again, I think it'd be a great opportunity to take that moveset and move it over into Squirrel Girl. Another character that is also in this sense, and that they can take the moveset, is Moving Sea Viper, who is for the most part pretty irrelevant now in all of Street Fighter, but they can take her moveset from Marvel 3 and give it to Black Widow. And take also a little bit of Jill, what Jill does too. So with Jill, she's very acrobatic, she flips around, she has some guns, a little bit of gunplay, but really it's more of Sea Viper because of the use of the electricity and the gauntlets, or whatever you call them, in Black Widow's wrists. And Sea Viper has a similar thing going on with electricity, so they can easily take Sea Viper and some of her moveset and put it into a new character, Black Widow, move that into Marvel Infinite, and it would make a lot of sense. If, again, Black Widow makes it into the game, she's not confirmed, I don't know, I'm not sure she's gonna make it, but that would be a way to put Black Widow into the game without putting a whole lot of effort into making a new character from the ground up. I already mentioned Jill, and like I said, they can take some of Jill and put her into Black Widow, but they can also take some more of Jill and split her up into Gwenpool, if Gwenpool were to make it into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Sorry guys, this list is very Marvel heavy because I read a lot of Marvel, so I don't have a whole lot of Capcom suggestions, but they are coming right after this. So with Gwenpool, she's like Deadpool, so I don't want to say Deadpool's moveset per se, maybe a little bit of the silliness and the mannerisms, but I think she's more in line to mash up with between like X-23 and Jill and gameplay, with a little bit of Sea Viper, and then throw in some of the Deadpool silliness because it is still very much like Deadpool. But Gwenpool has guns, Gwenpool has swords, and Gwenpool is athletic, acrobatic, and so on. She'll flip around, and again, some of the fourth wall breaking stuff that Deadpool does, you could see in Gwenpool. And taking Jill's guns and flipping around the screen like Jill's hyper combo with the guns, so it could be easily thrown into a Gwenpool move set. Now, like I said, with Capcom, I'm going to follow that up and continue with the Resident Evil theme. Now, I don't think that with Resident Evil that they're going to continue on and put in Wesker and Jill and Chris, because I think at that time they were still in the Resident Evil 5 era, and that's why they were in that game. We've moved on, we're in Resident Evil 7 right now, and I just don't see Chris, Jill, or Wesker, especially Wesker, making it into Marvel Infinite, though that the continuity is not something that necessarily matters. What does matter is that they are remaking Resident Evil 2, which most likely won't come out this year, but Leon has the spotlight for that game. So I do think that Leon S. Kennedy will make it to Marvel Infinite, and it's worth at least mentioning that, it is Resident Evil. They do use similar weapons and have a similar vibe. They could take some of Chris's moveset from Marvel 3 and put it into a Leon. I'm not saying the entire moveset, but just parts of it. I mean, the guns, the different weapons, the rocket launchers, the magnums, and just even some of the melee options, because it's still very similar. Chris is more of a heavy, artillery type person, and more hand-to-hand, like strong guy punching a boulder sort of thing, where Leon is more of a, not necessarily martial artist, but he has more finesse. So they won't do the entire moveset if they were going to do that, but they can still take some of those elements and maybe even put some of Wesker into a Leon, but obviously he won't have his superpowers. As far as Jill, like I said, it'll go into a Gwenpool. I just don't see Jill making it into Infinite, and it doesn't make sense for, even if they were to do Claire for some reason, to put Jill's moveset into Claire. This just doesn't work out. Lastly, before I go, I want to talk about two more characters. First off, it is Nova. Now, I know there are a lot of Nova fans out there, and Nova could very well just be put into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I don't know. I would love to see him return. I really do think he's a great character. But Marvel does have a huge focus on Inhumans lately, and I do think that there's a good way to influence. I do think that there's a good chance that a character like Black Bolt could make it into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and a good way to put him in there is to take Nova's moveset, or not the entire moveset, but elements of it, and put it into a Black Bolt. A lot of what Black Bolt does, as far as his type of stature and stance, he does fly, he's very strong, he has the sonic screams or voice, whatever. I can easily see Nova's Supernova move, or at least some variation of that move, be adapted into Black Bolt, because it's just that radius of effect, that area of effect, kind of jumping into the air and screaming, letting off this quasi-sonic scream, and so on. You can do that punch down towards to the ground, where it lifts the character up off the ground, and you can do the launcher combos from there. I can see that being into a Black Bolt very easily, and just other elements. Not all of it, because Black Bolt isn't much of a kicker, but I never imagined Nova being a huge person on kicks until I saw him in this game, so maybe they can make that work out for Black Bolt. But again, I don't think it's going to be the entire moveset, but it would work out pretty well if they were to adapt Nova into Black Bolt. And lastly, I will leave it at Super Scroll, who I highly doubt is going to make it into Marvel Infinite, but a character that does kind of take from that moveset, that those tools, would be Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan is stretchy just like Mr. Fantastic, and Mr. Fantastic is also, his powers are also in Super Scroll, so you can use all of those elastic type powers and some of that maneuverability too. So Kamala Khan is very strong, and she can do the stuff that pretty much like Super Scroll can do in the game, with the exception being all of the flame powers. Take that away from Super Scroll and put it into Kamala Khan, you can really make off with saying, hey, they have similar moves, or they can do similar things. There would be like a little cutesy element to it, because she's still a teenager, or young, or at least a young woman. So I wouldn't make it so mature, I wouldn't use the same character model or anything like that. But just using some of those moves with the tool set will work pretty well in making Kamala Khan a really fun character to play if she makes it into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. But guys, let me know, is there any other characters that you see that could be taken from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Ultimate Marvel 3 and taking their moveset and put it into a new character, or even an existing character? Maybe they can take something from Dr. Doom and throw it into Iron Man, just some missiles or something. But just, whatever ideas you guys have, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious to know. If you like this video, please hit the like button. I always appreciate that, and share it if you can. Make sure you also, again, go check out Maximilian for the full comparison of gameplay video. I'm going to leave a link in the description below for you to check out his full video, and go subscribe to him too, because he is awesome. I will see you guys next week with more videos on whatever comes up in gaming. I will continue to stream Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm actually going to start it tomorrow, and I will see you guys next week with more content later.